You know someone like this. He's always talking about brilliant ideas, grand dreams, and a sparkle in his eyes that makes him seem like he was born for something extraordinary. He's that person who discusses incredible projects and new ventures, but despite the excitement in his voice, nothing ever comes to fruition. Instead, there's always a reason why it didn't work out. It wasn't the right time. He didn't have the right person by his side. The world simply hasn't understood him yet. There's always some external force to blame for why things haven't materialized. Perhaps he's that childhood friend of yours, the one you've known forever, or a younger brother who you still can't believe hasn't grown up. Maybe he's your boyfriend, your partner, or even your father, a man who seems to be stuck in time. Despite his age, he behaves like a boy emotionally. He's emotionally unstable, reluctant to commit to anything serious, and has a strange resistance to facing any real responsibilities. He's someone who is always seeking freedom, but never truly accepts the responsibilities that come with it. And deep down, maybe part of you still hopes that he'll eventually change. You hope that one day he'll wake up and start living up to his full potential. But what if that day never comes? Carl Jung, the famous psychologist, named this psychic pattern Puer Aeternus, the eternal boy. This archetype represents the man who refuses to grow up. He lives eternally in transition, as if he's always preparing to start living, but never actually does. He has a youthful energy about him, an imaginative spirit, and a way of looking at the world with excitement and wonder, but there's a deeper shadow lurking behind that charm. The problem is that the Puer Aeternus doesn't deal with the demands of the real world. His dreams remain just that, dreams, because he refuses to confront reality. The Puer expects life to bend to his desires, that others will solve his problems, and that he doesn't have to face the hard work that growth demands. He imagines that everything will fall into place in some grand, idealized future. He wants the perfect woman, the perfect job, the perfect life. But when reality doesn't align with those fantasies, he flees. He might break up with someone when the relationship requires emotional maturity, or quit a job because it's not living up to his expectations. He might abandon a project halfway because it's too difficult or too much effort. He's always chasing a vision of what could be, but never actually puts in the work to make it a reality. This cycle continues over and over, an endless loop of unfulfilled dreams. The saddest part of this is that even though he seems free and full of life, he's really trapped in a cycle of fear, avoidance, and immaturity. And it's not just the person stuck in this cycle who suffers. Everyone around them feels it. You might be the person trying to help him, giving advice that goes unheard, offering support that's wasted, and trying to motivate someone who, deep down, isn't ready to change. And then comes the cruelest part. He makes you feel guilty for trying to help. He'll tell you that you're being too demanding, that you want too much, that you're the one who's broken, not him. He plays on your emotions, leaving you feeling drained and confused, as if you're the problem for wanting him to step into the world as an adult. But here's the hard truth. This man you care about is trapped in a fantasy of freedom. In practice, that so-called freedom is a prison. He's trapped by his own fears, by his refusal to grow up, by his desire to remain in a state of perpetual childhood. And unless he wakes up, he'll grow old without ever truly living. This video is not an attack. It's a mirror. And if you've made it this far, it's because something inside you recognizes this pattern. Perhaps you see it in someone close to you. Maybe it even reflects something in yourself. The journey of the Puer Aeternus doesn't have to end in stagnation, but it can only change when the truth is faced head-on. Let's talk about that now. The origins of the Puer Aeternus. The Puer Aeternus is not just a personality type. It's a deep archetype, a psychic force that operates in the unconscious of thousands of men. It's easy to confuse the eternal boy with someone who's charismatic, spontaneous, or a free spirit. Many people see him as charming and free, but behind that appearance lies something much darker, a refusal, almost instinctive, to grow up. Carl Jung observed this pattern in many of his patients, and throughout history it has appeared in various myths and stories. The Puer Aeternus represents the person who refuses to leave the paradise of childhood, a psychological womb where everything is taken care of, protected, and resolved. The man-child lives in a state of perpetual waiting, believing that something great will happen tomorrow, but tomorrow never comes. He remains the eternal son of the gods, the special one, but in reality, he is never truly in charge of his own life. You've probably seen this up close. Men who jump from job to job, always searching for something more meaningful. They start projects with enthusiasm, but abandon them as soon as obstacles arise. They fall in love intensely but disappear when the relationship demands maturity. They talk about spirituality, self-knowledge, and freedom, but struggle to pay a bill on time or maintain a commitment for more than a few months. It's not for lack of intelligence or talent. The Puer Aeternus is often brilliant, sensitive, and full of potential. He has a lively connection to creativity, inspiration, and imagination. But because of this, he lives in the realm of ideas, constantly escaping the weight of reality. He wants to fly without building wings, wants love without commitment, and wants success without effort. He desires the rewards of adulthood without the price of maturity. When the world doesn't deliver this, he rebels. He blames the system, blames his parents, blames life, but never himself. Jung explained that the Puer Aeternus suffers from a disconnection with time. He is always living in a not-now state, always waiting for the right idea, the right woman, the right phase of life. He lives in the when, never in the today, and because of this, he doesn't truly live. He merely survives, fed by dreams that eventually become burdens. The dark side of the Puer Aeternus. As enticing as the Puer Aeternus may seem, there is a dark side to the eternal boy. This side silently destroys everything around him, and it's what most people don't see. He is magnetic, passionate, and unpredictable. He shines with a youthful energy that attracts others, inspiring them to believe in him. But over time, this shine fades. What was once lightness turns into emptiness. What was once sensitivity becomes instability. And what seemed like freedom reveals itself to be mere escape. At the core of the Puer Aeternus's shadow is fear. Fear of failure, fear of being judged, and fear of facing the harsh realities of life. This fear manifests in daily sabotages, missed deadlines, forgotten commitments, financial disorganization, and abrupt changes of mind. He makes promises, but never follows through. He uses poetic excuses. I'm not ready yet. I need more time. I don't want to force myself. But the truth is much harsher. He's afraid of growing up, afraid of making mistakes, and afraid of being ordinary. This self-sabotage affects everyone around him. Romantic partners live in a constant state of emotional uncertainty, loving a man who seems incredible in essence, but absent in practice. Family members become frustrated, seeing him waste talent and opportunities. Friends grow tired of offering support to someone who lives in an endless cycle of almost. And through it all, the Puer Aeternus is trapped in emotional adolescence, never maturing and never fully taking responsibility for his actions. Breaking free from the Puer Aeternus archetype. It's important to recognize that the Puer Aeternus is not just a man who refuses to grow up. He is a man who is, in fact, deeply afraid of growth. Growth is painful, it's uncomfortable, and it requires confrontation with one's deepest fears. But until this pattern is confronted, it will continue to wreak havoc on both the individual and the people around him. This is not to say that the Puer Aeternus cannot evolve. There is hope for transformation, but it only comes when he decides to face the truth. The first step is to break free from the illusion of eternal youth and confront the reality of time. Growth demands that we accept the responsibility for our own lives, that we step into the world of adulthood and stop waiting for the perfect moment to begin. It's a painful process, but it is the only path to real freedom. Real freedom is not about escaping responsibilities. It's about choosing what is worth committing to and then committing to it fully. The journey of the Puer Aeternus doesn't have to end in stagnation. It can be a journey of true self-discovery and transformation, but only if the truth is faced head-on, and only if the man-child is willing to step into the adult world, embracing maturity and all the responsibilities that come with it. Conclusion. The journey of the Puer Aeternus is a challenging one, and it's easy to fall into the trap of perpetual adolescence. But, as Carl Jung observed, true growth happens when we confront the reality of our immaturity and accept the responsibility of becoming adults, of facing the fears and illusions that hold us back. It is only when we stop fleeing from life that we can finally begin to live it fully. If you recognize these patterns in yourself or someone close to you, don't despair. The journey to maturity, although difficult, is transformative. It's about integrating the eternal boy within us, using the creativity and imagination he brings, but channeling it through the lens of maturity and responsibility. It's about stepping into the world, making decisions, and accepting the reality that true freedom doesn't come without boundaries or commitment. And while this is not an easy process, it's one that leads to true fulfillment, growth, and emotional freedom. The time for change is now. If you want to take the first step towards breaking the cycle of the man-child, it's up to you to decide that you're ready to face your own fears and build something real. If you found this video valuable and insightful, please take a moment to hit that like button. It helps the channel grow and reach more people who might need to hear this message. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on more content about self-development, growth, and understanding the deeper psychological patterns that shape our lives. Leave a comment below and let me know. How has this video resonated with you? Have you encountered the Puer Aeternus in your life, either in yourself or someone else? Share your thoughts, and let's keep this conversation going. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay strong and keep growing.